Today we're going to talk about the Seco leaf. Seco leaf is a very essential component of the filler. It's one of the milder tobaccos used in the filler. It comes from, I believe, the fourth or fifth priming of a plant. And as you're priming a plant of tobacco, start your first priming, which is usually the mud leaf, which they don't use. Second and third priming are a good-sized leaf. They don't get a lot of sun, so they're usually used for wrapper. Fourth and fifth, they tend to get a little more rusty looking like this. And you also get a little more flavor because when you pull off those lower primings, there's not as much of the plant to feed. So you get the Seco. Seco is generally one of the more robust components of a filler blend because it's such a thin leaf you can get more in there. So this is pretty much your component that builds up the body of a cigar. Pretty much makes it the thickness you want and stuff like that. You can use a good amount because it is a thin leaf. Ligero, as you can tell, is a lot thicker of a leaf, so you can't really use as much of this in a cigar. This is the last priming of a cigar plant, so it gets all the nutrients and all the sun because all the rest of the leaves are off the plant before they pull this. So this is pretty much your strongest component of a cigar. You'll notice on some cigars they talk about double, triple ligero, stuff like that. What that means is they just use a little bit more of this in the blend, so you get more robustness, more flavor. Whereas Seco is the filler, this is the spice. This will give you the kick, the body that's inside of a cigar. You got to be. It's a pretty rough leaf, so you got to really be able to gauge how much of this you can put in. It's a very thick leaf, so it takes up a lot of space. So you don't use nearly as much of this as you would the Seco, because the Seco is a thinner leaf. We're going to be talking about the binder leaf, which is actually not a very good-looking leaf, but it is very stretchy. Now this is what holds the bunch together, which is actually all the filler components. Now after you bind a cigar with a binder, you actually put it into the press, and it forms a cigar. This is usually wrapper that doesn't really meet the aesthetic grade, and it's usually a little thicker than what they would generally like to use for wrapper. So you use it as binder, and it's, like I said, the main reason they use it is because it is stretchy, and it does hold together pretty good. It is a thick leaf, as you can tell. It's not that thin.